ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting game of girls high school varsity volleyball here on CPHS 6. I'm Carl Stafford. Tonight's matchup, your Port Huron High Big Reds take on the visiting Sterling Heights Stallions. Just underway now. Big Reds start serve with Rikasevich. Long rally now. Stallions. PH scrambling a little bit, hit by Goodwin. And over. Nice save by the Big Reds. Time to set something up. Goodwin sets near side to Chapman. Blocks at the net. Bounces over somehow, and that will be in on the back line. And the first points of the game will go to the Stallions. Excuse me, that was Hannah Jefferson for the Big Reds at the net earlier. So Stallions with a 1-0 lead. Iceni serving. And I believe we're going to have a two-hit violation. It's going to be a point for the Stallions. So Belinda Iceni again with their second serve. Big Reds just got to get this one over. Nice play at the net. Set up for the far side. Big spike by the Stallions, and that goes long. Nice setup play, just a little bit off the mark. As Maddie Sizopak. The Big Reds are now on the board. They will sub in Peyton Frazier, the freshman, to serve. Again, this is game one. A best of 5. Game's going up to 25. Fifth game, if necessary, only going up to 15. First team to win 3 sets. All tied up at 2. Once again from Frazier. Far side, this time drop. Nice play. Recognition at the net. It's a senior from Sterling Heights. The Stallions now lead 3-2, game number 1. Maria Nelson long with the serve, ties it up at 3 and gives the Big Reds back control of the serve. And we have a timeout already for Port Huron High, so early timeout. Interesting decision. Head coach Megan Mitchell for Port Huron High saw something she didn't like. We're tied 3-3 early on in game number 1. So we got about this Big Red team. Pretty young team, only a couple seniors on the team, 2 freshmen, that being number 11 Peyton Frazier and number 13 Madden Trombley. So they will come out of the serve with Sabrina Wright ready to serve, junior. Set up for a play at the net. Kept it long, played a little too far and then blocked right back over, and Goodwin was trying there to put it back and caught a little off guard. Point for the Stallions. Tough play at the net for Goodwin. I'll bring Hayden to serve. Collision, Stallions keep it together. Again, feed the far side, blocked at the net. Good job by Goodwin and Trombley keeping it alive. Now scrambling for it, and eventually will fall down on the Stallions side. Point for the Big Reds, all tied up at 4, back and forth. And that will now bring the junior Brittany Goodwin back to serve. Nice, strong low serve into that. Nice setup play. Coming from the back row trying to strike that one. Difficult strike. And that one will go into the net. Now the Big Reds take the lead. That serve low into the net. And we're all tied up at 5 apiece. So once again, it looks like another game that the Big Reds will have to overcome a bit of a height advantage at the net. Again, they make up for it with their athleticism. Saw that as they played Northern earlier in the year. Northern would ultimately win that game. Still a lot of athletic displays. Nice strike from the back row there. And that one was just called out. Very close play. And very good strike. Slightly off the mark, and that gives the Stallions the lead, 6-5. Big Reds a little more time to set up this. Gregor Savage, and again, nice play by the Big Reds. And it sailed long, but it was actually touched by Sterling Heights, they're going to say. So it's going to be a Big Red point. It's going to give the Big Reds credit anyway. A nice setup play for them. And nice strike by the senior, Gregor Savage. So trying to find the ball now. Went around the corner. And it's going to be the Big Reds. So all tied up at 6. Aubrey Ruiz. Nice long play once again. Set up and a huge play at the net. Great play for the Stallions. Darlene Okapoko and Diana Carpina right there at the net. Weichel now serving. Gregor Savage far side, tipped at the net, nice dig. Just keep that alive for Sterling Heights, and then that one goes sailing long. So back and forth we go. 7-7 now. Now we have the freshman Trombley back to serve. She played well at the net. Nice job there knocking that one down. There's Savannah Ahrens. Fall down on another Big Red lead, 8-7 here in game 1. That one just long, trying to paint that back line. Stallions wisely watching that one land out of bounds. Little miscommunication on the substitutions for the Stallions. Now we got everyone in. Stretching to dig that one. Big Reds played it over the net. Gave plenty of time for the Stallions set up. Good win, Gregor Savage. And we get a 2-hit violation on the Big Reds and point for the Stallions. So Moroki. And that one unfortunately put off the side of Ruiz's hands and go out of bounds. But again, back and forth this game. This is now a 2-point lead, but neither team really pulling away. Moroki. Again, scrambling a little miscommunication on the Big Red side. Set up well for the far side. Good wins there. Set it over. Try to drop it. Nice back-to-back play on Savannah Ahrens. And then eventually for the point, so all over the place there. Caught the drop before. Nice play at the net. Good overall play by Savannah Ahrens. One of the few seniors on this team. Gregor Savage back to serve. Nice serve. Played well by the Stallions. Big Red's a lot more time to play up. And Goodwin almost gets him with a fake out. Tipped at the net. A back row strike from Gregor Savage. Tough play. And into the net, point for the Stallions. Makes it now 11-9. Stallions lead here, game 1. Hyseni back to serve. And that serve short into the net. Looks like she's got her Her non-dominant hand taped up today. Substitutions for the Big Reds as they sub in Peyton Frazier to serve. And again, it's impressive how much the Big Reds can rely on these younger classmen. That's going to be 3 hits and unable to get it over will be a point for the Big Reds. So I don't know how many times I can say back and forth, but back and forth is the scoring. 11-11, tied here, game number 1. This game is win by 2, so one team will eventually have to pull away to win this. Nice, tried to block it at the net. And great job by Kelsey Chapman. Good strike at the net, and the Stallions never really able to recover. So we'll go back to Frazier. Diving all around, Stallions struggling to keep it alive. Put a great strike into it, bouncing off the rafters and right in front of our camera. Going all out for the play. Chapman was trying to run into it. We're up on a little elevated platform here. Down there, it's pretty much running into a cinder block wall. But that's what the girls are willing to do anyway. Diving all over, trying to keep the ball alive. This one's got to get over. Far side, attempt to block at the net, and I believe we have a net foul. And it's going to be a point on at Sterling Heights. They now take the lead 13-12. Again, game number 1. Sterling Heights Stallions against Port Huron High Big Reds here at Port Huron High School. And that one in, painted the back lines, and the Big Reds are excited over that one. So once again, they'll bring Sabrina Wright in to serve. Stallions got a lot of height along that front line. Nice set. Thought they were going up for a spike. Had blockers as a nice heads-up play. We have a 2-hit violation. It's going to be a point for the Big Reds. A late whistle on that one. So once again, the Big Reds will serve now with the lead, 14-13. Partially deflected at the net, but still powered that one through. Nice play at the net by the senior Maddie for the Stallions. That'll bring up Adriana Hayden to serve. Big Reds with a ton of time to set this one up, and a net violation before that even happened. That one was going to go long. It's going to be a point for the Big Reds, and they will retain serve. Back to Goodwin. A lot of topspin on that serve. You can really see it there. Left the Stallions scrambling. A lot of time to set up for the Big Reds. That one struck a little off the mark by Chapman, and will go long. Tie this one up at 15. Savage played that one high, almost up to the rafters. Coming and came and got it after the set by Goodwin. Looking to play more at the net tonight. We're having 4 hits. Big Reds unable to get it. Always tough when it gets trapped in the net there. Maddie Cizopak now. And an interesting play. Grega Savage. A legal hit, but not one you see very often. We'll send that hard serve right back. That's ultimately winning that point, and again, we're tied 16-16. as Aubrey Ruiz will step in. Set up at the net, and that was inbounds, and I think Port Huron High might have touched it anyway along that back line. Huron High, nice setup this time. Dragisevich and trickles over the net, caught the Stallions jumping a little early. Unable to block that, trickled over the net, and again we're tied at 17. And we will have a timeout for the Stallions now. All tied up 17, game 1 here of tonight's matchup. We see the score. So a very interesting matchup. Head coach Eric Wasterhauser for the Stallions talking over with his team right now. See how Stallions come out after this timeout. We see him on a knee there. So while we got a second, we'd like to remind our viewers you can get a copy of this or any other program CPHS 6 tapes for a small fee by calling 984-6621. Again, that's 984-6621. So refs trying to break up the huddle for Sterling Heights. They finally do. Got to get back on the court. The buzzer will help. And getting everyone back out there because we will have a Port Huron High serve. Again, all tied at 17. And again, served by Trombley. Nice dig by Goodwin. Play at the net. I'm not sure if deflected. Great play up the middle. Darlene Okapoko. Moroki now back to serve. Nice high set by Goodwin. An interesting spike for Jefferson. And that one played up and out of bounds. The Big Reds unable to pick that one up. So Moroki for the Stallions. It's time for Dragisevich coming up, and once again, Dragisevich and Goodwin on the same page tonight. They've been pairing up for a lot of points. Two very pivotal players on this Port Huron High team. As now Dragisevich serves. Nice setup the whole way and trying to keep it alive. We can get two-hit violation, or actually a legal hit by Savannah Aaron. She's played the net well tonight. So now 18 to 20. 20 to 18, Sterling Heights leads, trying to pull away. Again, game up to 25, win by 2. Trying to keep it close. The Big Reds, just like it has been all along. Got to go over with this one. Tough strike coming in for Sabrina Wright, and that one goes a bit long. Iceni now, the junior, to serve. Talking about this being a pretty young Sterling Heights, or pretty young Big Red team. Only juniors and seniors for Sterling Heights. Nice drop shot. Beautiful play at the net. I've seen Goodwin do that plenty of times over the years now. Not always go up strong, but try to drop one in, especially when she sees the defenders playing at the net. The Reds trying to get this one blocked at the net, trying to keep it alive, and it tangled in the net. Tough to dig it out. Chapman and Aarons were there. So 22-19, Stallions lead. Nelson with the serve. Nice long set. And a tough play. It deflected at the net. Number 7 sets it over. Once again, plenty of time for the Stallions. They tried to drop it. Great dig by Chapman. Still going, though. Play by the Stallions and paints the back corner. So that was Diana Carpina with the play. And we're going to have a minute now. We're going to talk to our line crew. Or at least one of the flag people on the field. Officials talking about that call. That call looked like it was all right. I heard some chatter from the coach's sideline earlier from Sterling Heights. That one called in. Other line judge now coming in. Talking about that last play. I don't really expect them to change anything here. Just the officials probably reinforcing the rules. Coach is kind of asking among themselves if that was out and was ruled as a point. And that one. And we're getting an explanation now, but it actually will be a point for Port Huron High. And we're getting an explanation now, which is why we were short stoppage in play. Can't talk exactly to the official, and he wants to talk to the other line judge. So I'm not sure. So we're getting an explanation now. And it's an explanation over via a player. Zizafak actually with the one that was explained. So it was originally ruled a point for the Stallions. Ball was in, so. And once again, we have a messenger going back and forth between the official and head coach. It's going to stay a point for Port Huron High. That decision has been made. Just trying to get his explanation for it now. And upset with that call, but throwing in the towel on that debate. The Reds now within 2. That spiked into the net. And we'll see if this momentum, the Sterling Heights starting to get a little momentum going before that call. And the Big Reds now trying to tie it. Stallions still up 22-21. Served by Wright for the Big Reds. Chapman goes up, nice set aggressively at the net. Great drop shot. And that's Hayden. A great play for the Stallions. Makes it 23-21. And she will now serve. Serve played by the Big Reds. That was a judgment call. Looked like that was going to fall in. And caught it and didn't entirely expect that. And working once again, talk with the official. And explanation to her team. Assuming she is one of the captains on the team. They're going to give the points to Sterling Heights, but I think not entirely happy how they played that one. So it will be game point for Sterling Heights. 24-21 with Hayden serving. And Goodwin tried to set that one over and will fall into the net. So that will be game 1. Sterling Heights wins 25-21. We'll be back for game 2 of tonight's matchup in just a moment here on CPHS 6. Okay, and we're back with game 2 of tonight's matchup between Sterling Heights Stallions and the Port Huron High Big Reds against Stallions taking game 1. Interesting to see how the Big Reds rebound here. Nice play trying to keep that alive. Big Reds, and unless you can count the person at scores table who is wearing a Big Reds jersey, that will not count, and it will be out of bounds. So first point for the Stallion, and the first over explanation by me. First point into the game. I'm on a roll. Nice play set up for the far side. The Stallions, Big Red's got to readjust. Nice play by Grigosevich. Had to readjust. It's hard to see there. Didn't see it on the monitor, but actually ball went all the way up and redeflected and redirected off the beams of the gym. So great job by Grigosevich just even get to that. Always a tough play. You see the path of the ball and then it changes like that. Nice set by Goodwin, try to drop it in. The Reds trying to get their first points on the board. And again, another great diving dig by Grigosevich. Play at the net, and we're going to get a net violation. And it's going to be a point for Sterling Heights. They now lead 3-0. Maroki serving. Got 3 points in a row. That one sent high and long. Off the mark for Jefferson. Miranda Dorr now subbing in. I believe that's the first time we've seen her tonight. She's typically a pretty common face for Big Reds. Dorr will definitely help strengthen that back line. Nice play at the net by Ahrens. Dorr, Goodwin, far side to right. And struck that one just a little off the mark. So on a bit of a roll now as we see 5-0 here for the Stallions. Serves all coming from Melinda Maroki, and make that 6 straight points for her. Talked about how back and forth game number 1 was, and Stallions is starting to walk away with game 2. To see another point, I would definitely expect a timeout from Megan Mitchell, coach for the Big Reds. But nice play by the Big Reds. Still got to watch over the team though. First points for the Big Reds. Kelsey Chapman will sub in. Also Peyton Frazier. And it will be Frazier with the serve. And that one just out of bounds. Big Reds tried to play it, couldn't get to it anyway. Fortunately, lands out of bounds. Blocked at the net and made a tough play for the Big Reds. Didn't get it, all of it. Right in the middle of it was Chapman and Ahrens. Makes the score 7-2 in favor of the Stallions. Alcini now back to serve. Serve played by Dorr. To right. Near side, big spike. I give that to the captain. Maddie Ciezpak had a really good game. Senior captain for the Stallions. Listed at 5'11". One of the taller players out there. Used every inch of it. Great job on that kill. Big block of the net this time for the Big Reds. Goes right back in. Follow-up play by Goodwin. Great play by the whole front line there for the Big Reds. And Ahrens, Chapman, and Goodwin all involved in the same play. So great to see that from the Big Red front line. They'll bring up Wright to serve. Big Red's trying to get on a little bit of a roll. And we got a serve violation. And it's going to be an immediate point. Play just dies immediately, an immediate point for the Stallions. Maria Nelson now serving as we have a quick stoppage in play. I'm not sure if we have something on the floor we need to wipe up or on the ball. So we'll get back to the action now. Good to see that the court is all back to normal. So now Nelson waiting to serve. Score is 9-3. Stallions lead here in game number 2 after taking game 1. Great play for the Big Reds. Chapman, and Stallions never able to recover that one, falling too close to the bottom of the net. Falls down, and Big Reds will gain the serve and the point. Gregasevich subbing in. And we'll bring back Goodwin to serve. That one misplayed by the Stallions. Able to keep it alive, though. That's resilient. Nice dive by Goodwin. Same thing, just keeping it alive at all costs. Big strike. Played well by Frazier. So nice play in the back line by Frazier. Taking the big hit, and the Reds will give it once again to Goodwin. Nice low serve with not a lot of spin on it. So up the far side. That one I don't believe was deflected out of the net. No, it was not. And it's going to be a point and ball back to Sterling Heights. Adriana Hayden serving. Finds himself with the Stallions up 5. Got some substitutions. And eventually Aubrey Ruiz gonna serve. Diving for that ball was Wright, unable to get there. Go back to the Stallions. And miscommunication along the back line there. So tough break for the Big Reds. They now find themselves down 12-6. Got to make a little bit of a run to get back in this one. Maddie with the serve for the Stallions. That serve was strong and played. Tough judgment call by Sabrina Wright. Realizing she probably should have let that one go. Tough to judge it. A lot of velocity on that serve. Stallions now leading 13-6. This one just tried to drop it over the net. And kind of psyched herself out a little bit on that one. And knew it as soon as she hit it. And that one will be into the net, and the serve will go back to the Big Reds. Madeline Trombley. Big block of the net. Once again, right in the middle, Savannah Ahrens. Also in on the play, Hannah Jefferson. Ahrens playing a really good game defensively. And the Reds unable to handle that. And off to the side, and a point for the Stallions. It's now 14-8. Brittany Weichel will come in to serve. Nice play to keep it alive by Ruiz. And now scrambling, Sterling Heights. Nice recovery. Reds probably wish they had a little better play after time to set that one up. Goodwin with a nice set. Both teams scrambling now. The Reds slowing it down here, should have a nice opportunity. Gregasevich goes up for it and paints the corner. Beautiful strike. Sydney Gregasevich with a phenomenal strike on that ball. Had a lot of topspin, spun it down right in the corner. One of the best plays we've seen at the net today. And now she will be back to serve. She finds the Big Reds down 5. Again, plenty of time for the Big Reds setup. Far side. Net violation. Point for the Big Reds. Again, Gregasevich will serve that one. Never made it inbounds. Missed wide, actually. Typically see him miss long. So it'll be a point for Sterling Heights. They're now up 5, 15-10. As Maroki will again serve. She started the game off well. At the line serving. And upset with herself instantly on that play. Got caught out of position. Was Maroki, but she's had a good game. Will be a point. She'll bounce back. Will be a point for the Big Reds. I'll bring in Peyton Frazier. Frazier will serve. Tough strike from the back line, deflected at the net from Ahrens. So again, Maddie, the senior. Number 8 for Sterling Heights, playing very well tonight. Definitely understand why she's the captain. Another captain is Maroki. Both players played well in this game, specifically. Again, the Big Reds is down, and don't see that very often. Just a set go right between Goodwin's hands. Upset with herself after that play. Iceni now serving. Score is 17-11. Gregasevich strike from the back. Plenty of time for them to set it up, and huge block at the net. And will be a point for the Big Reds. And we're gonna whistle here as to whether it was in or out. We're gonna call once again the line judge in. And it's definitely gonna be about whether it would have came down. Have those poles up on the net. Basically an extension of the line. We'll talk about it. A point was originally awarded to the Big Reds. We'll see after the violation, after the stoppage, what the call will be. So again, the officials being patient with the kids running the line today, trying to get the explanation rights, trying to help them out. And I believe now we'll have a explanation, or we'll have a moment more to talk about it. Make sure we clarify things. And so again, originally awarded a point for the Big Reds. It was a block on the net and then came down out of bounds, but this question what it exactly played at the net. And now we'll get the call to Mitchell, which has to make me believe that this play is going to be reversed, and it's going to be a point for Sterling Heights. So it will be. So that point will be taken away from the Big Reds and will be given to Sterling Heights. And now once we find a volleyball, there we go. We will start this one back up. Haiseni to serve. With an 18-11 lead. Here in game number 2 again. The Stallions already taking game number 1. Great individual play of the net. Mariah Nelson, a 5'4" junior. 5'4" with a great play at the net. And then we see the score there, 19-11. As the Stallions try to take consecutive games. Nice strike and unable to handle it. Savannah Ahrens. Talked about her defensively today. Great play on the offense there. Give a point to Port Huron High. And now Sabrina Wright trying to start some kind of roll. Nice low serve. Doesn't put the Stallions in great position. A lot of time for the Big Red setup. Nice long set. Bounced off the net and bounced around trying to dig it out of the net. But Chapman, it's a nice set by Goodwin, and Chapman able to finish it. So once again, we'll have Wright serving. Stanton scrambling just to get it over. That one just out of bounds. Big Reds trying to inch their way back in this game. 19-14, Stallions still lead. That serve short into the net. And that brings the Stallions 5 points away from taking game number 2, and they will have Mariah Nelson serving. Tried to set that one long, and it will be out of bounds. Nice idea on the play. Just a little off on the execution. Definitely caught Sterling Heights off guard. Now 4 points away from taking game 2. After they chase that ball down, Nelson still serving. That by Chapman. Once again, and in the call before that spike even, it's going to be a point for the Stallions. Either way, unable to handle the kill from Maddie. 22-14 Stallions, game 2. Already up 1-0 in the game score. Trying to win consecutive ones. I'm not sure if Goodwin touched that one, as not touched briefly by the Stallions. That one will go in over Grega Savage. Hesitated a little bit, not sure if she wanted to play that one. It's been a tough shot for her anyway. 2 points away now, 23-14. Nelson trying to end this game strong for the Stallions. Nice serve. Rolled up the arms a little bit, and the Big Reds tougher to set up the play. More time for the Stallions, although they just had to end up setting it over. Once again, both teams scrambling around a little bit, and Chapman a little off of that strike. And now we will have game point for game number 2, an attempt to go up 2 games to none. For the Sterling Heights. Reds now find themselves down 10, so they'll gotta make a huge rally with no mistakes. Very tough play to come back this late. Still a great play by Goodwin there, scrambling to keep it alive. And the Stallions are laughing about it, and you can do that with a 10-point lead. Make that 9 now. The Reds aren't giving up yet. That one off the mark. It's a little misplay. I'm not sure if it was miscommunication. Talking about it on the back line there between Nelson and Muroki. Either way, will be a point for the Big Reds. So once again, we'll have Goodwin. And once again, great play by the Big Reds. And Muroki unable to handle that one. 24-17. It's a great run to see by the Big Reds. Just think it might be coming a little bit too late. Not if they keep serving like that. Won't go down as an ace, but pretty much unreturnable. Brittany Goodwin. So she's stringing some points together. We see the score at 24-18 now. And once again, unable to handle the serve, bouncing up. So Goodwin is on a roll, and we'll have a timeout now finally for the Stallions. No big deal when they have a 10-point cushion to play with, but Goodwin and some phenomenal serving has putting the Big Reds back within 5. So maybe I did speak too soon. Maybe the Big Reds are still in this game. The only problem is only 1 point away, one mistake away from ending game number 2. Either way, good job to build this momentum up going into game 3. So the Big Reds break their huddle, and I think part of this timeout is just trying to get Goodwin out of the zone that she's in and maybe make some substitutions along that back line. She's kind of just killing it right now at the serving line. Let's see if she can continue it. Again, 24-19. Stallions still lead. And that one's out of bounds. So after the timeout, serve is long, and that will do it for game number 2. The Stallions lead 25-19. We'll be back for game 3 in just a moment here on CPHS 6. All right, and we're back with game 3. Again, Sterling Heights Stallions and the Port Huron High Big Reds. Grigasevich starting it off for the Big Reds. And the Big Reds got to come out with differently than they did. Great play by the net by Goodwin and Ahrens. Got to come out differently than they have been. Lose this one, that's all over. Don't want to lose in straight games. Great play at the net by Sterling Heights. Alcini and Hayden right there in the middle of it. Alcini now serving with a 1-0 lead in game number 1. Again, the game scored 2-0. Sterling Heights over the Big Reds. Nice dig by Grigasevich. Great job keeping that one alive. That's Ruiz. Sterling Heights keeps that one alive. Tons of time for the Big Reds to set up. Not exactly how they wanted to play it. Now a lot of time for the Stallions. Tried to drop it in. Goodwin tried to get that one. Kind of jumped awkwardly at it. And unfortunately, that one landing short into the net. So a very long first 2 points, but both going to the Stallions. So again, they took game number 1, 25-21. That game was back and forth all along, all the way till the very end. Game 2 got a little more out of control as that one will go out of bounds. And still, Big Reds rallying late, especially with the serve of Brittany Goodwin. Went on a big run. And I was hoping they'd carry some of that momentum here into game number 3. So far, we have a 3-0 lead. And a great play by Goodwin after net. Put the Big Reds on the board here in game number 3. So now on the board, trying to add to that total will be Frazier. Nice setup for the far side. Huge block to the net by Goodwin. Also in there, Aarons. Went up against Maddie, and she's been pretty ridiculous at the net all night long for Sterling Heights. So huge block there for the Big Reds. Now down 1. Again, very early, but this is the pivotal game 3. Let that one go long, all tied up. And that's what I have to say about the last game. Gotta love the resiliency we saw from the Big Reds. Whole time only 1 point away from that game ending, and went on a pretty good run. Able to keep it alive, but it will eventually drop. Only can do so much. Again, another great play. Just dropped it in there. Is Goodwin at the net. And we're seeing like a little bit more of a finesse game at the net, and that one drops in. I believe it was Chapman who played that one. But more of a finesse game than a power game. Again, talked about being outsized a little bit, height-wise at the net. Pretty much something I believe the Big Reds have faced all year long. Scrambling around now, unable to keep that alive. Nice diving effort for it by Frazier. But I think it's something they've made up for with their athleticism pretty well all year long. Just a different style of play. Can't always go for the big kill at the net. So a lot of drops and a lot of sets and just trying to catch players out of position. Got to play smart to make up for that. And they have a lot of athletic players who do that really well. That one diving for it sent it up to the crowd. Unfortunately, at high school level, not a souvenir. Got to throw it back down. And we're all tied up at 5 apiece now as we have Mariah Nelson serving. She went on a nice little serving run earlier. Chapman again goes up and sets it. Good block at the net. Stays down on Port Huron High. Got to keep it alive here. They do. This recovery by Port Huron High looks once again to kill that ball down, and it is Belinda, or Maddie. And captain, and once again, she's been a force at the net tonight. So Nelson now serving with the lead, 6-5. Tried to serve that one short. Good job by the Big Reds come up and play it. There's Sabrina Wright. Miscommunication at the net, falling all around. What that resulted in, the Big Red point. And we'll have Wright to serve now. All tied up at 6. Tougher strike, a little farther away from the net. And a tough play for Frazier. Adriana Hayden. Nice dive to play the short serve. Great play to keep it alive, too, by Trombley. And that one will go long. Points for Sterling Heights. Hayden now with a 2-point lead. That serve looks long. Played anyway. It's going to be very close. Gregasevich decided to play it. Chapman played that one after trying to block it off the net. Goes up strong, deflected by the front line. For Sterling Heights, able to keep it alive. Once again set up nicely for Chapman. Gregasevich right from the back line. Nice drop. Once again, Gregasevich there. And that one struck a little off the mark by Trombley. And we'll go long. Great point for both teams, really. Both teams recovering well and setting up their plays. Not really broken plays. Trying to get the ball where it should. That one deflected off the ceiling. That's why you saw Goodwin make the adjustment. She had it all honed in. Last second, deflected off the ceiling. That one powered through. That's Diana Carpina at the net. And we will have a timeout for Port Huron High. So as we see the game score 10-6 here in game number 3. Again, the game score 2-0 in favor of Sterling Heights. So a very pivotal game. Winning this third one would win the match in straight games. So timeout for Port Huron High is Megan Mitchell. We'll talk it over with her team. So still a positive huddle, still trying to keep things positive. Haven't played a terrible game. Have been in most of these. Just got to finish now. We're going to start it here with game number 3. Keep the games going. So despite calling a timeout, they are the first one to break their huddle. And the serve will be for Sterling Heights. As they still have the serve. Still have time on the clock, didn't even use all the allotted time for that timeout. Nice play right up the middle, set up for Tremblay. And we're going to get a net violation for the Stallions, and it will be a big red serve. Once again, Goodwin serving. Again, the star server in the last game. Nice, huge block of the net by Chapman. Set it back to Goodwin. Strike from the back row, a lot tougher back there. And that one into the net. We'll have substitution, and now Maddie will be back to serve. She's been dangerous in front of the net. She's been dangerous serving. She's just been dangerous all around for the Sterling Heights Stallions. Kind of a delayed signal on the line. Didn't really get a signal from the line judge, but it was out. So point will go to the Big Reds, and they will take the serve with Ruiz. Find themselves down 3. Ruiz, Goodwin. Rigasevich finally gets it over. Nice time to set it up for the Stallions. They play it short. Plenty of time, tried to drop it in. Plenty of time, but once again, strike again from the back row for Goodwin. This time catches the top of the net and over. Tried to set that one long, and they're going to say that caught the back line. Very nice set. I first saw that, thought that was going to sail long. Great job dropping that one in. And the Stallions now lead 12-8. Brittany Weichel now serving. Big Reds scrambling, eventually get it over. Set up nicely on the far side. And that one right into the net. Big Reds were there on the other side for the defense. So now Tremblay playing with a bit of a pace now. Not much time but in between these points. Trying to keep momentum going. Big Reds trying to build on anything they can. That one block sent back, so try to set it up again. Tremblay now Goodwin. Tremblay will play it over. Big power play up the middle. Deflected at the net. Aaron's drop, then miscommunication. That's going to bounce out of bounds. And it's going to be a point for the Big Reds. So nice long battle. And those are the ones you really pick up the momentum on. Those are the ones that really take the momentum away after a long rally to eventually lose the point. And we have a 2-hit violation there on Jefferson. As Aaron's originally played that one at the net, bounced to Jefferson. And really the only one able to play that ball. So Maroki, the other captain for the Stallions, serving. Nice drive by Port Huron High. Ahrens at the net. Great play. Savannah Ahrens. They'll bring Gregasevich up. They're down 2 now. Stallions lead 13-11. Reds working their way back. Goodwin and Ahrens were there at the net. Went deflected at the net. Nice play. Ruiz in the back. Sabrina Wright comes up to strike that and sent that one a bit long. So Belinda Hysini. That serves short into the net. So points for the Big Reds as we figure out the substitutions. Subbing in Chapman and Frazier. Frazier will serve. That serve hooking and out of bounds. So point will go back to the Stallions. Still up 3, 15-12. Again, up in the game score 2-0. So this would be the clinching game for them if the Stallions are to win this game. Big Reds trying to prevent that from happening. I think we're going to have an illegal hit, or 2 hit on the Stallions. So back to the Big Reds with Wright. That one struck in a rare miss hit from Maddie, we've been talking about all night. Big Reds will take a mistake though as we have a timeout for Sterling Heights. Timeout as the Big Reds are now within 1 here in game 3. Again, the Stallions still lead 15-14. But Stallions obviously feeling a bit threatened. And you got the Big Reds playing well, playing for game 3, trying to push it to extra games. They already break from their huddle, and once again we are waiting for Sterling Heights. Didn't have the clock on this one, but we will get the whistle as the official tries to get them to break up the huddle. Again, a little chat with the flag crew. They've been changing a little bit. I believe after every game. So nice serve by Wright. And a tough strike for the Stallions. A nice play here. Could be for Chapman. Nice strike set up beautifully on the far side. And once again, Maddie on that far side. She can definitely play the ball at the net. Now up to 16-14. With Adriana Hayden serving. So that's a very tough dig when Maddie is striking the ball the way she is. That one is long. An attempt by Darlene Okapoko. Stallions scrambling a little bit, gives Big Reds time to set it up. Set it up beautifully for Chapman, and unfortunately, just a bit long. Big Reds just slightly off the mark today. That being said, they're still within 2 here in game number 3. Maddie back to serve for the Stallions. And miscommunication there, and that one's going to fall on the ground. Big Red's got to talk out there, and I believe that's what Megan Mitchell's telling him right now, head coach. That was simply just miscommunication. That's always frustrating to see as a coaching perspective. Nice serve there by Maddie on top play for the Big Reds. Makes it now 19-15. Nice dig by Wright. And partially blocked, and that will trickle over and fall down. Diana Carpina. Now 5 points away from victory. For the Big Reds, 5 points away from tying this game up. Need the run that they made late last game. That one striking the out-of-bounds boundary on the net. So Maddie just on a roll now, serving. And a very good player. It's going to be a scramble if any of the Big Reds get to that one. And unable to, going to try to chase down another ball. New ball found. And once again, we'll have a timeout for the Big Reds. So you got to be feeling pretty good right now if you're the Stallions. 22-15 here in game number 3. Coach is not even going to address them in this huddle. Just giving them a little bit of timeout, and looks like they're letting some of their player captains kind of take over that. That's number 18. That's Melinda Maroki. Seems to be the leader of that huddle. As we see the score there, 22-15. Again, game scores. First one, 25-21 in favor of Sterling Heights, and second one, 25-19. So the Big Reds haven't been that far off, and once again, found another game that they're staying in it, keeping up with this team, just unable to finish it right now. And so we'll go back on the court, 3 points away from ending this one. And once again, Maddie serving for the victory. And another great serve, unable to be played by Wright. (23-15). Big Red's got to get her off serving. And miscommunication and that's why she's being so effective, tried to drop that one short. Chapman tried to play it. 24-15. And now we have a game and match point for the Stallions. That one into the net, so the Big Reds will play for another fight, for another point at least. Made a little bit of a roll with only 1 point to go last time. See what they can do here. Aubrey Ruiz definitely changes your mindset a little bit, knowing you can't make a mistake. A little less aggressive. Nice opportunity set up for Gregasevich. Nice dig by Nelson. And that one launched up and basically running into my table, trying to dig that ball out. And that will be the final point of tonight's game. So they win game number 3, 25-16. Or it might not be over. We actually have some kind of misunderstanding on the play, and there actually was a foul, so it will be a point for the Big Reds. So not all over yet. So scoreboard still says 25-17. Now fix it, 24-17. Unable to play that one. Another point for the Big Reds. Again, trying to make a late run. So Aubrey Ruiz. That serve looks a little long. You played it anyway. Big break for the Big Reds. Both teams scrambling around now. Now a lot of time for the Big Red setup. Dragasevich, nice strike. Good win. Dragasevich with the set. Try to get it over, play at the net. Deflected and will fall down. Great play by Hannah Jefferson. The Big Reds once again playing well with their backs against the wall. Still down 24-19 here, game 3. And serve into the net, and unfortunately that will do it for game 3. So rallying a little bit, but that game 3 score 25-19. So the Stallions take all 3 games, 25-21, 25-19, and 25-19, and win in 3 straight. Really thank you all for joining us here on CPHS 6. I'm Carl Staffhorst. Good night.